morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio, and today we're going to look at Temporal Forces. Because when we got the press release for Temporal Forces, it told us, other than full arts weirdly, it told us what secret rares we should be expecting. And the good news is we can now have a look at the Japanese sets Cyber Judge and Wild Force, and we can have a look at the press release, and we can basically mash them together and go, oh no, we know like exactly what's coming here, and that's kind of awesome. There are a couple of cards where we actually already have the English images, which is awesome. For most of them, we'll go Japanese, but that's okay, you'll know what I'm talking about. And many of these are actually pretty gosh darned easy. So let's start with what is clearly the best thing about the Pokemon sets at the moment. 10 special illustration rare Pokemon and supporter cards. And this is one where I can be absolutely certain. Now, one thing I will actually say nice and quickly here, I suppose there's like some tiny minor outside chance that actually they cut some of these and introduce random ones that Japan never had. I don't believe for a second that's actually true, just to be clear, but I'm acknowledging that there is, I suppose, a tiny chance that happens. Like a proper tiny chance, alright? But technically, yes, that could happen, okay? I've acknowledged it, let's move on. But the thing is, there were 5 special illustration rares in Cyber Judge, and there were 5 special illustration rares in Wild Force, and we know we're getting 10 in Temporal Forces. So this makes perfect sense. So let's start off with what are clearly the best of them. I will not be taking any questions about this. The Ancient Trio done by T-Zero, your Raging Bolt, your Gouging Fire, and your Walking Wake. As a side note, Pokemon are seemingly doing this a bit more lately, where they're taking a set or a trio or a pair or something and giving it to a particular artist. And I just want it on the record that that's a fantastic idea, and I am massively in favour of this, and this is awesome. We've got a lovely trio of artwork by T-Zero, we've got the 3 big EXs from the set, and this all makes absolute perfect sense. Everything about this just fits. The artwork's stunning, the cards are brilliant, Raging Bolt still by far my favourite. Single energy, discard your hand, draw 6, awesome. Or 2 energy, discard as much energy as you like from your Pokemon and do 70 for each one discarded, awesome. But then we've still got Gouging Fire, which has got free energy 260, and Ancient don't really struggle to get the energy on. And then Walking Wake, whose attacks are not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. These are pretty cool. And then we know that there is a future trio coming as well. You've got your Iron Leaves, your Iron Crown, and your Iron Boulder. Iron Leaves has got that brilliant ability whereby when you play it to the bench, you can move it to the active and move a bunch of energy to it. Surprise attacker FTW. We've got Iron Crown that lets your future Pokemon do an extra 20 damage, which is clearly awesome. And then you got Iron Boulder, which I desperately want to like because I love me some Terrakion. And look, if anybody out there can make a really good Terrakion deck, I would be, or Iron Boulder deck, I would be delighted. But I rather suspect there's just better future Pokemon out there. Prove me wrong, people. Prove me wrong. So that's 6 Pokemon. Are we getting 4 supporter cards? Yes. Yes, we are. Again, unless they're doing some super weird thing where they're taking some of these out of the set and introducing some that Japan has never had, which I suppose is possible, but no. So the big one's going to be Bianca's Devotion. And I do mean this very sincerely. I showed you this the other day. If you look at the most expensive cards from the sets in Japan, Bianca's Devotion is number 1 by like a country mile. It is about 2.5 times the second place card in the double set. Bianca's Devotion is by far the biggest. And I could tell you that it lets you heal all damage from a Pokemon with 30 HP or less remaining. That's not what matters. It's Musharna sleeping, except it's not Musharna, it's just Bianca. Like Musharna is in the artwork, you're not seeing things. People just really like Bianca, and that's why Bianca ends up here. It is by far the biggest card in the set, and when we get to Temporal Forces, this will be the chase card. Of every card in the set, if you literally line up every single card in the entire set, this is the chase card in the set. But it's not the only one we're getting. We're also getting Salvatore, and I'm really waiting for when we get like a proper high quality scan of this. I adore this card. It's one of those ones where the more you look at it, the more you see. There's just so many little nods and references to Pokemon just all throughout here. It's absolutely stunning. I adore this card. I want this card. And it's awesome, okay? It's absolutely awesome, and I am a gigantic fan of it. We are also getting ourselves a Morty card as well. This is Morty's Confidence, and it's got Gengar on, honestly. Again, like Morty as a whole is fine. It's okay. You discard a card from your hand and then you get to draw one card for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It's fine. But again, we're not really talking about the playability here. There's a big old Gengar popping up from the ground, and that is what's going to make people absolutely love this one. This one is amazing, to be fair. And then as well as that, we've also got ourselves Eri. And Eri's another one here where it's kind of cool, but really what makes Eri so cool is the fact that you've got all the other Pokemon just kind of chilling behind and then coming out to play. And then you've got all those other Pokemon that we can appreciate coming around as well. That's what makes this such a ridiculous card. So, yeah, get excited about that one. And they should be your special illustration rares. That's the 10 of them. Now, we're also told in the press release that there are 6 hyper rare gold etched cards. And this one, again, is very, very easy. Because there are 6 gold cards that are in the double set over in Japan. So if it's not that we get the 6 of those, that would be weird. And then we've obviously got, the Ancient Trio, your Gouging Fire, your Walking Wake, your Raging Bolt. And then we've got ourselves a Future Trio, your Iron Crown, your Iron Leaves, and your Iron Boulder. Not quite sure why the Future Pokemon get such boring names and the Ancient Pokemon get such awesome names. Maybe there's some commentary going on there about us getting less creative as society advances, or maybe it's just no real reason at all. I don't know. But you've got to admit, the Ancient Pokemon just have better names. So the gold cards, again, I don't think there's any real controversy here at all. As a side note, do please remember that generally speaking, we do get, some Pokemon, some energy, and some trainer cards. There tends to be a bit of a mix. There isn't a mix this time round. Pokemon went, look, we're going to do 3 gold in each set like we normally do in these double sets. We're just going to do the 3 main Pokemon. We're going to do the trio of Pokemon. No mucking, no messing. That is how we're doing it. And you know what? Yeah, that sounds alright to me. Why not? So that leaves the other thing that we were warned about, and that is that there are going to be 22 illustration rare Pokemon. And again, this works absolutely perfectly. Now, there's actually 12 in both of these sets over in Japan, which would generally lead to 24 illustration rares. We have been explicitly told that we are getting 22. What's missing? We've got the Fluttermane and Iron Fawns, which are being put into the Elite Trainer boxes. Simple as that. Every Elite Trainer box gets you 1, but if you buy the Pokemon Center exclusive, you also get the stamped version. And that's it. It really is as simple as that. That's where we are. You take away those 2, and then all we're left with are 22 illustration rares to be put into the set. The numbers here work absolutely perfectly. Essentially, if we look at what we've got from Cyber Judge and Wild Force, and we look at what we got in the press release, what we're essentially being told here is, it's alright mate, there's no surprises coming, chill your boots. And you know what? Yeah, that's kind of cool. But since we're here, I think it might be a good idea to remind ourselves of these illustration rares. So I shall run through them nice and quickly so you can see and you can ooh and ah and, well, whatever else is appropriate, frankly. Because they're beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. They're absolutely beautiful. And actually, there are a couple here which I do think are particularly amazing. I'll shout them out as we go along. So we do have the Grotle by Kato, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I love Kato artwork. This makes me happy. Why is there a Marill riding it? I don't know, and I'm not going to ask that question. We've got the rather lovely Snom, which is one of the few that's actually been revealed in English. Look at the art. It's amazing. We've got Bronzor checking out its reflection in a Bronzor mirror, which is stunning. We've got Reuniclus having a bit of a chill, having a lovely relaxing time. We've got ourselves the Relicanth by Mitsuhiro Arita with the other fish and fossils and all swimming around, which is brilliant. We've got the Mudbray kicking a bunch of hay onto a pile of hay because I don't know why not. We've got Arbok, and if you're a Toucannon fan, look away now. But as an Arbok fan, I love that Arbok's getting some love here, despite the fact the card is clearly quite terrible. We've got Ghastly. Now remember Pokemon do this thing at the moment where they just mix around which of the evolution stages is actually getting the illustration rare. Apparently this time it's Ghastly. Why? I don't know. I kind of love it. Although Gengar and Haunter are on there as well. We've got the Chatot, and like I told you before, they're basically musical notes here. The top 3 Chatot are an approximation of Chatot's cry, and the bottom ones are the do-do-do-do-do when you heal your Pokemon at a Pokemon Center. And then we've got the pair of Minccino and Cinccino by Shibuzo that are just a wonderful pair of Pokemon that look lovely. And I'm a Gen 5 fanboy, so this makes me very happy. We've then, I'm actually moving over to what was in Cyber Judge now, we've got ourselves the Shiftry, which there's something about this art which just rubs me up the wrong way, and I don't know what it is, and I'm sorry. We've got the pair of Deerling and Sawsbuck, and it is literally a pair. You can mash them together and they make a picture, and that's amazing. We've got the Litten, this is one of my favourites. We've got Litten Sleeping, Litten Peeking. We've got, weirdly, Toy Litten, which is very confusing. We've got Litten Books and Litten Records and a wishy-washy mobile, because I don't know why. Everything about this card makes me happy. We've got a Chargebug, which, providing for the camp, which is quite cool, I suppose. We got a Cutie Fly by Rend, which, oh my word, is a stunning piece of artwork. We've got Excadrill, and you know by now I'm a huge fan of Excadrill. This is amazing. There's actually 3 Excadrill, at least 4 on the picture. It's just so good. There's one popping out the ceiling. I don't know why, don't care. Love Excadrill. We've got the Metagross clearing snow because I don't know why not. We've got the Meltan just celebrating in a factory, which is cool. Lickitung making me not want dessert. And then Drampo with the lovely stylized artwork. There's a Butterfree down near the bottom because I don't know why not. It's just absolutely stunning. But they are going to be the 22 illustration rares in the set. Now, part of the reason we needed to do this exercise was to tell you guys what was coming. But part of the reason we needed to do this was to tell you what was not coming. Because there are persistent rumours about the Bulbasaur and Squirtle that have been released in a bunch of Asian territories that, as it stands at the moment, we haven't got. Well, part of the reason I did this video was to show you we're not getting them here. Maybe we'll get them in the not too distant future, I don't know. But I'm telling you they're not coming here. Because if they were coming here, there would be space for them. And I've just shown you all 22 illustration rares from Temporal Forces. Now, like I said at the beginning, it's not 100% guaranteed. They could do something weird. They could take a couple of these out as promos and slide in the Bulbasaur and Squirtle, maybe. But no, that is horrendously unlikely. Possible, but horrendously unlikely, I think, would be the way to do it. And I'm just going to throw the full arts in here. They weren't actually in the press release. The press release didn't tell us how many full arts we were getting, but I know we're getting 18 full arts, and it just seems really weird at this stage to not put them in. It just seems weird. So I'm going to put them in super quickly now, and then I can tell you I've shown you all the secret rares from the set, and that will make me happy. So in terms of Pokemon, we have got 12 of them. From Wild Force, we got the trio of Gouging Fire, Walking Wake, and Raging Bolt, as you might expect. And then we got the other 3 who are Torterra EX, Gengar EX, and your Terrawug Trio EX. Then over in Cyber Judge, we've again got the trio of Iron Leaves, Iron Crown, and Iron Boulder. And then we've got the other 3, that being, of course, Incineroar, Scizor, and Terra for Rigorath. Those are the Pokemon. We've also got 6 full art supporter cards. So we've got ourselves Explorer's Foray, we've got Eri, And we've got Morty's Confidence, that'll free from Wild Force. And then from Cyber Judge, we got ourselves Codebreaker Solution, Salvatore, and Bianca's Devotion. There we go. Those are your 18 full art cards. It just felt weird not to put these in before we finish. Right, that's what you need to know, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these cards you're looking forward to. Tell me what your chase cards are. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Eric Ridgway, who's been a supporter of us for a while now and is a very lovely person, so shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.